Hi guys, and welcome to my diary. Let's see what I've been up to this week.
So how are you guys settling into lockdown? It's been a while now, so I think everyone's sort of finding their groove, finding a little bit of a routine. For me, myself, I'm sleeping a lot more than I usually do. I'm usually up early and about, and now I kind of sleep in a little bit, which is good. I think my body actually needs that, so maybe it's a little bit of blessing in disguise. But this running 21 kilometers around the tennis court is quite something else. I have kept it up so far. I'm still, am I going to actually do the whole thing or not? I don't know. But so far so good, but I am so sore and so stiff. All that turning, it's like all these different muscles and stuff, which I suppose is really good for me too. But oh my goodness, I'm feeling it. I'm a little bit sore. I'm still keeping very busy, which is a great thing. I think my neighbors think I'm absolutely bonkers because I'm on the tennis court for like 5 hours a day, and I think they think, at least I give them something to look at and something to be entertained by. Yeah, so what are you guys doing? How are you keeping busy? I'm so proud of all the South African runners. Most of us are behaving and not going for runs outside. There are a few that are getting caught. I don't know anyone personally yet. So yeah, that's a good thing. I'm very proud of us because it is hard not to run and not to run outdoors and stuff and to get stuck, you know, confined and whatnot. But I'm watching all these guys on Strava, and they all post on Facebook of their like little garden runs. It is hilarious. I mean, in this tiny little space, South Africans have got nuts. Everyone's doing marathons and half marathons in their garden, and you know, I'm actually just so proud of them. You know, you can't knock us down. I love it. I just have to say, thank goodness I have been challenged to this 21 Ks a day, because otherwise I would sit on my bum and do nothing all day. That's all I want to do. I feel so lazy. And thank goodness I've got to do these videos. Otherwise, as well, just all I want to do is lie on the couch and do absolutely nothing and just eat pudding. I'm still doing that, but at least I'm still keeping a little bit active at the same time. I don't know, how are you guys coping? So Thursday night has become quite a thing in my house. It's become like the Bachelor night. We watch the Bachelor, my dad and I watch the Bachelor together, and my brother watches the Bachelor in Cape Town because unfortunately he's not here. But so it's like a thing. We sit down and we watch it and we thoroughly enjoy it. I'm sorry I was a bit useless last week and I didn't quite get around to giving you a recap, but don't worry, I'm going to recap you now as well. So last week they had a game of truth, which meant Mark asked questions and all the girls answered what they thought to the question. So it was about another girl. So pretty much like who was the most desperate in the house, who was the most jealous, who wasn't there for the right reasons, and the girls had to give their honest answers, which made for a very interesting sort of date. Yeah, you'll have to go watch snippets. I'm not going to give my opinions on the whole thing, but it was very interesting. Then the last question was who deserves to go on a date, and the girls had to vote who they thought deserved some one-on-one time with Mark, and you could actually vote for yourself. I must be honest, I would have voted for myself. I would have been like, you know what, I need this time with Mark and I'm here for Mark, so that's what I would have done. But it came down, it was a tie between Bridget and Jessica C, and Mark decided to take Bridget on a little bit of extra one-on-one time. They had a lovely evening, no kiss, no rose, so it was an interesting time, and it was the first time there was a rose ceremony with no roses have been handed out yet. And Andeline unfortunately ended up going home. Yeah, it was sad. Lovely girl, but I suppose, you know, it's getting to that time when people have to be eliminated. Fashion wise, I loved Gillian's dress. She wore this black dress. It was like a princessy sort of, I don't know how to explain it, but it was absolutely stunning, and I thought she looked absolutely gorgeous. So this week they had a bit of a chemistry date. So all the girls, well 7 out of the 9 girls, went on this date, and what happened was Mark was blindfolded and he had earplugs in, and each of the girls, one at a time, all the other girls watching, which was cringe. You had to give Mark a hug and sort of see how your chemistry is, and it was quite interesting to see the different dynamics and how each girl approached it and how they hugged him and how sensual it was. And yeah, it really was sort of, I don't know, each of the girls' personalities kind of come out when they gave him a hug, and he was pretty good at sussing out who was who. So yeah, it made for a very interesting date, and what made it most interesting for me anyways was the other girls watching, because they sit there and they judge and they're like, oh no, she's doing this and she's doing that, and you know, like, obviously you get a bit jealous because this is not your guy and he's sort of having these moments with all these other girls. So that was quite interesting. And then he handed out a whole bunch of roses on this date. Well, yeah, 2, not a whole bunch. He gave his sort of favorite moments, or what he said she put in the most effort, was Jessica R. So she got a rose straight away. And then Mauricio got the wild rose, and we'll remember the wild rose from in the beginning where you can steal anybody's date. So she got the white rose. So it'll be interesting to see what she does with that. Then he took Jessica C on for some one-on-one time, which ended up turning into a 2-on-1, and she ended up getting sent home. Oh, my heart broke for her. She didn't get a lot of time, and I don't know, I think she deserved more time, I really do, but obviously Mark wasn't feeling it, and he sent her home. And then rose ceremony turned into not really being a rose ceremony as such, more of a 3-course dinner. And he took each girl aside one by one and sort of spoke to them, and slowly he gave away all the roses. Until it was only Ricky left that didn't have a rose. But then the episode ended. So you don't really know if she gets a rose or not. Fingers crossed she gets a rose. I think she really deserves a rose. But we don't really know. But I think she gets a rose. I keep the faith. I'm sure she's going to get a rose. I think there's a connection there. So we shall see. As for fashion-wise, Pasha was my favorite this week. I loved that dress. It was like a corset on top, and then it flowed out, and it was pretty, and I don't know, it was just my kind of dress. Anyways, guys, let me know what you thought.
When the weather looks like this outside, this is how I have to do my 21Ks.
I just wanted to show you what this running round and round in the house and stuff is doing to me. I've got a bit of a problem with my lower back from a trampoline exercise from way back in the day. Yeah, I said trampoline exercise. I've just done 21 kilometers in the house because it's raining, so my mind has like gone. But yeah, it was a 20. Jeepers, let me try that again. It was a trampoline accident. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a long story, which I may as well tell you guys now. I'm all sweaty, but actually I don't know, I find sweat quite appealing. I think it's quite sexy to have a little bit of a glow. I'm probably like the only one, and it's probably because I am always all sweaty, so I kind of have to make an excuse for it. But anyways, back to this accident. So this was when I was 13 years old. We were in Port Elizabeth for these really important tennis tournaments to be chosen for world champs. And I'd been doing really well. It was myself and this other girl, we were sort of definitely going. But we had 2 more tournaments to go, and it was qualifying. My brother had to go to qualifying, but I really didn't want to go with. So I begged my mom to stay. Sorry, oh, my legs are getting sore, I'm kneeling. Okay. Alright. I can't speak, okay. Yeah, no, I'm like not doing retakes of this video. I really just don't feel like it, but sorry, so just put up with my mess, yeah. But anyways, so I really didn't want to go. And my mom was like, no, you have to come. And my dad was like, oh no man, just let her stay, it'll be fine. So this is where I learned my lesson as to you always listen to your mom. And they had this trampoline at this place that we were staying, this beautiful place. But every time you bounced, your feet would touch the floor. and Tegan decided to still bounce on her bum. Bah! I whacked myself straight. It was like as if I jumped straight into concrete, and I was like, oh shit, I kind of can't move. And anyways, long story short, I ended up sort of like compacting like discs in my coccyx area and whatnot. It's fine, it just acts up every now and then. But now I had to come up with a story to tell, because I couldn't just be like, oh, I was jumping on the trampoline and you know my mom already said I shouldn't, and I had to withdraw from the tournament, so I couldn't play the tournaments anymore because I could barely move. Luckily I had done enough in the previous 2 tournaments to still go to World Champs, so it actually didn't end up being such a disaster. The disaster now is more later in life because it is a bit of a problem, but yeah, I suppose you live and you learn. If you're me, you learn the hard way. But so I came up with this lie. I was like, oh, you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say I slipped in the bathroom. You know, there was water on the floor and I slipped in the bathroom. And, my dad got blamed for it. So I spun the story and my mom goes, oh, Wayne, that was you. You always leave water on the bathroom floor. And I was like, oh, do I come clean? And I'm 13 years old. I was like, no, I don't come clean. I can't tell the truth now. Because I mean, imagine how much trouble I was going to be in then. So I kept this lie going and now my dad is heartbroken because now he thinks he's ruined my chances at World Champs, and I feel awful. It's like eating me up inside, but it's not, I don't feel bad enough. This is why she can't survive it, because I mean, clearly I can live with a guilty conscience. But anyway, I don't feel guilty enough to actually tell the truth. And I hid this from my mom for about 4 years, and eventually I came clean. And then my dad, I told him my 21st birthday. I was like, you know what, I actually think I should come clean. It wasn't your fault. Yeah, it's a big joke now in the family, but I thought it was kind of a funny story I should share with you guys.
Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week.